Hi, and welcome to this video demonstration of 3 data space applications created for the Urban Freight Data Space, or UFDS, using the Urbane Project's User Interface and Model Management Engine, CityCore. The first application we will be demonstrating today is the Dataset Generator, which allows users to create synthetic GeoJSON datasets. The process is straightforward. First, the user selects the city in which they would like to generate the dataset from any of the participating cities in the Urbane and Disco projects. They then define a bounding box to specify the area of interest. Next, the user sets the desired number of data points and provides a description for the dataset. Finally, they can choose between 2 different generation techniques. The first is a uniform algorithm, which distributes the generated locations evenly across the selected bounding box. The second is a centroid-based algorithm, which generates a higher concentration of locations around a user-selected centroid, with the strength of this gravitational effect being user-adjustable. Once the datasets have been generated, they can be explored using another data space application, the Dataset Viewer. The user selects the city of interest and the dataset they wish to view, which is then displayed on the map. For this demonstration, notice that the selected dataset has a higher concentration of points on its left-hand side, since it was generated using the centroid algorithm, with a centroid positioned there. Next, we move to the Dataset Anonymiser. The user selects the city and dataset to anonymize. For this demonstration, we'll use the dataset previously generated with the centroid algorithm. The user then chooses how many points to sample, adds an optional description, and crucially sets the maximum random displacement applied to each point to protect its original location, between 1 meter and 1 kilometer. In the same way as shown previously, the anonymized dataset can also be viewed through the Dataset Viewer application. It is worth noting that both the Dataset Generator and the Dataset Anonymiser automatically register every created dataset as a data asset within the user's data space connector. However, these assets are not immediately shared in the data space. The user must first define the appropriate sharing restrictions and access policies. For this demonstration, we show how easily the anonymized dataset can be shared with selected participants, specifically, the connectors within the Thessaloniki Living Lab, by applying a pre-configured access policy. Once the data asset has been shared on the data space, it can be viewed in the catalog browser. This concludes our presentation. Thanks for watching.